Shalom. This week's Sedra is Sedra Korach. In order to properly understand Sedra Korach, I'd like to go through a story with you about a woman named Miriam. Miriam couldn't believe that her boss had undermined her so dramatically. A member of Miriam's team had completely ignored her directions and mishandled a client. Instead of taking the employee to task and supporting Miriam as team leader, her boss had excused the offense and pardoned the employee. Miriam felt the loss of the respect of the employee, her team, and even her client. To cool off, Miriam walked to the kotel and opened the Chumash to study this week's Torah portion. Torah study always had a calming effect on Miriam. She read of Korach's rebellion and the rebels' latest charge, that, and I'll quote the pasuk, so pardon me for reading, that Moshe, you have not even brought us to a land flowing with milk and honey, nor have you given us an inheritance of fields and vineyards. Hashem recorded Moshe's reaction. Moshe was exceedingly distressed, and he pleaded to God, do not accept their offering. I have not taken a donkey or anything else from a single one of them, and I have not harmed even a single one of them. Miriam was confused by the flow of the different phrases discussing Moshe's reaction to Bnei Israel's complaints and Korach's rebellion. Miriam understood Moshe being upset, but why plead to God not to accept the rebels' offerings? Did Moshe really think that Hashem would accept them? Why would Moshe bring up the fact that he'd worked gratis all these years? In his commentary to this pasuk, Rashi explained that according to the pasuk's simple meaning, Moshe said, do not accept the ketoras, the incense, that they will sacrifice before you tomorrow. Korach and the rebels were to offer korbanot in the morning to prove their claims of having by having them accepted by God. Miriam knew that a leader, especially middle management, needed the respect of those she was responsible for. It is unfair of upper management to expect middle management to aspire results while at the same time undermining middle management by going against their systems or excuse offensives that middle management considers severe. Miriam suspected that these were middle manager Moshe's concerns as well. Moshe was a middle manager between God and the people. In his commentary to this pasuk, the Sforno cited the halacha that sins between man and man will never be forgiven until the offender gives his victim what he owes him and appeases him. While the rebels might offer a korban to atone for their sin against God, they must also ask Moshe for forgiveness for their slander of his actions and his character. Moshe begged Hashem not to accept their offering simply because they'd atoned for their sin against God. Moshe wasn't citing a technical point to God or expressing personal offense. Moshe was explaining to God that even if the rebels deserved forgiveness due to their genuine repentance, their actions had undermined Moshe's authority with the people, and in order to restore his authority, the people had to see that the rebels would be punished. Moshe was begging God to ensure that he was able to effectively lead the people. Rashi explained Moshe's claim that he never took a donkey from them by writing, I did not take a donkey from any one of them. Even when I went from Midian to Egypt, and I placed my wife on a sons and donkey to ride, and I should have taken that donkey from the people's property, I took only from my own property. Moshe was explaining that his request of Hashem was said purely from the need to be an effective leader, not for personal gain. Miriam now understood the flow of the pasuk. Moshe knew that if Korach and the rebels' korbanot were to be accepted, he would be undermined as a leader. He pleaded with Hashem that even if other factors allowed Korach and the rebels to be forgiven, to be an effective leader, he needed Korach to be punished. Miriam felt a kinship with Moshe and understood how his prayer should guide her appeal to her boss as well. Shabbat Shalom.